Hello everybody, welcome back to another karting video. Today is a little bit different. We have a 2-for-1 special. This is the first race here. And we are green, starting from my very first career pole position. Immediately drop into second place, going through turn 1. Immediately drop into third place through turn 2. Got first ever pole position as a huge handful of oversteer and understeer, really, as I drop into fourth place. Very first pole position I've ever had. It was by about a 10th on this layout. Was feeling good in qualifying. I think this is and huge understeer, so this thing had no power and didn't turn right. As you see here, I'm turning the same I normally do, and it just would not turn as I dropped to last place. I finished a lap down. Just frustrating. This is the second race. And we are green. Starting here, this is the short layout, same direction as the last race, but just without the little infield section. Dropping from third to fourth. Everybody in qualifying was spaced by about a tenth, maybe 9/10 of a second, but about a tenth. And we got the 360 cam, got it lined up. And as you can see, there's a little bit of rain. And we are on slicks, so that'll be fun. This was pretty good race. Some good racing in the lower, in the lighter categories as we bump draft Simon down towards turn 1. Think about a dive bomb, not quite brave enough on the brakes yet, so we're gonna think better of it. And Dusty is already a good, probably 2 seconds ahead, leading. Almost get alongside here. We are just about there. Really leaves up the space, but get messed up with the bump. This turn 5 right there, or what is turn 5? I felt incredibly good on. It's a really fun corner when you get it right, but figuring out how to get it is kind of the tricky part. It wasn't really overcast during qualifying. All of these clouds kind of showed up as we were getting seated and situated. So that was really, really fun. It did sprinkle a little bit. Like, think about misting, like, from a hose. That's kind of not right. You can't even really tell. I couldn't even really tell as I send a move. Little bit of contact on the way through. All's well that ends well. Into third, trying to chase down second. And about a 1.5-2 second gap, looks like. You can see kind of splotches of differently colored rock, or asphalt, but I think that is more so from the coating, the sprinkle, so to speak, than actually being saturated with water. The grip didn't feel bad at all. Like, it didn't. I personally, at least, didn't feel any issues with grip. It felt almost exactly the same as in qualifying. There were drops on the visor, drops on the cameras apparently, but other than that, I mean, not much. On to lap 5. The braking into turn 1, normally turn 10 for this layout, turn 1, is kind of, I don't want to say tricky, it's just kind of a how big are your cojones kind of deal. Because you really can send it on the brakes if you'd really like to. Now, will you be able to stop in time? That's a really good question. I don't know. That's kind of what you have to manage here. But I don't know if you can tell, but I do have some new race boots on. These are $20 and ones from Walmart, living large. I decided to match it with my glove, and because of that, I bought these shoes probably 5 years ago because I can see the future. But no, I don't know, this just went with the color scheme a little better with the shoes. The red, I believe they're KDs, didn't really go with it. They're not quite the same tone or texture or anything. So Sitting here trying to chase down P2. P1 is already gone with nearly a 5-second lead, if not a 5-second lead, through 7 laps. So bit of a gap there. And honestly, somehow the gap would not really go up from there, as far as I can tell, for the rest of the race. Or at least at the end of the race, it was about a 5-second, 6-second gap between myself and the leader, who turned out to be Dusty. Spoiler alert, I didn't win this one, but you'll see how I did pretty shortly. About a 39-40-second lap time here. With the slickness and everything, it ended up being about a 39.4, I want to say. So some of the lighter categories get into the 38s, 38.6s, 38.7s, but not us, not today. Guy ahead of me, his name is Eddie, pretty cool dude. I don't believe I've raced him before. And I thought he would be another, there are people who show up for like 1 or 2 races, they don't do very well and they get discouraged and they leave, or they don't show up anymore. But this guy was on it pretty quickly. I don't know if I've just never seen him, and he's only come to races that I haven't raced at, or maybe he races in like a different category, usually, or a different class. I'm not sure, but he's here. And he's almost exactly as fast as I am today, or that day. So he's pretty fun to do with. Did have some good racing, as you'll see. And I think that's a good idea. I'm just hearing from the man upstairs that I'm going to take you all through a lap of this layout. So you brake about here. Trail brake through turn 1, flat through turn 2, carry as much speed as you reasonably can through 1. I lift off and kind of coast in through here, kind of let the tires do all the work. Maybe not the best idea when it comes to summer, because that might just end up overheating the tires, but we'll deal with that when that time comes. Heading through towards turn 5, stab on the brakes, trail it through, get a little drift action going, clip the apex, clip the apex. I don't know why this is a thing, but clip the apex. That's probably my least favorite feature of this track. That's stupid. And then turn. That stupid little, I think it's lovingly referred to as the turtle shell for some reason. I don't know why it's there. It provides 0 benefit for racing, and I don't know why it's there. It is my least favorite thing about this track. I'm not really gonna get into it. You know what? No, I have time. I am gonna get into it, actually. This little bump keeps side-by-side action from forming, because the person in front, if you're not, a good chunk of the way up alongside their cart, they're just gonna go. They're just gonna take the racing line. And you know what you have to do if you're a little bit up, but you're not quite there, and you're going into the turtle shell? You have to back out. Or you have to fly over the turtle shell, kill your RPMs and your momentum, and now you're shit out of luck. That's what I don't like about it. If it was just straight, if it was just a straight shot towards turn 2, which is the first braking hairpin, which is on the other side of this, going the other way, so like right here, this is the outside of turn 2, that's the apex. That, without this little kink, it would just be a straight shot, and you can get more side-by-side action into 2. But with this, you have to preemptively be alongside, which requires more overlap than normal, and which just makes it more difficult. But that's neither here nor there, because I can't change anything about it. I'm not the track designer, and thankfully I don't get credit for this track. The rest of it's pretty fun. Turtle shell is not. Missing the apex just a wee bit there. I'm meaning to add some stars to my helmet. I want to add a star for each podium I have. I'm going to do the same with my wheelbase for my sim rig, but sim podiums. I'm only going to do iRacing podiums right now. I'm not gonna bother with the Formula Game podiums, because do those really count? I don't know. Well, my computer just crashed, so that's great. I am going to leave y'all with a couple of laps of racing and reappear whenever some action shows up. Never mind, I'm right back. We have our first back marker going in through turn 1, 2, 3, 3. Through turn 3. Super nice. Pointed us through. No argy-bargy. We are right on the back of P3. And I'm noticing here I'm definitely gaining a lot of time into the braking of turn 5. But being able to capitalize that really was the difficult part. Capitalize on that. Trying for a little bit of a better run, and I get it, and I am better on the brakes generally than Eddie here, but just not quite able to get that overlap. And dive bombs are a little frowned upon here, ever so slightly, so I'm not really going to push my luck. Trying for a better run, but don't quite get it. Jump over the curbs and kill my RPMs, my engine speed. And it is a single gear, no diff car, so that's great. Once again, get a great run. Holy shaky cam. Apologies, everyone. Jesus. Great run through here. Once again, try the switchback. And once again, do not get the run. A little over halfway through the race now. And rocking a solid podium. I think the gap behind is, I think you can just see on the left there. Probably a good 5 or 6 seconds. So we can get into a good little fight here and not really worry about being caught by people behind. I do think even if we did even if I did bump draft him, that in 13 miles, I don't think we'd catch Dusty. We'd have to catch him by like half a second a lap. And that's just getting to him. That's not passing him or fighting with him or anything. So that's great. Sliding through 3, not sliding too much, hopefully through 4. How's y'all's day going? My day is going good. I just got out of calculus. I have been staring at the back of this guy's cart for quite some time. I'm ready to not staring at the back of this guy's cart. I was also feeling that in the cart. Got way too close for the comfort there. Didn't quite carry the speed through. Thinking about ascending to 3, but not quite alongside. Pretty close, and then I kill my engine speed. Nope, that's on a different lap. I maintained engine speed. There was one lap I was really, really close, but then I ended up getting on the curb just a wee bit too much, and my engine speed disappeared. And I went from probably 0.3 of a second to probably 7 or 0.8 of a second. Heading on to lap 20 now, 2/3 of the way through this race. It is flying by. Thankfully, the rain has not gotten us. That giant fire does not look fun. A little bit of overlap here, but does get the better exit as I kind of cut it short to get the overlap. And goes defensive once again. That is one thing I noticed. He would always go defensive into 5 regardless of how close I was. Until the time that I was actually like right there. I've always been bump drafting him. I stopped doing it, get the switchback, and I'm almost there. I could probably get the overlap in braking. But being on the inside, I didn't want to risk that, so didn't shoot the gap, so to speak. I knew I'm faster than him at this point because every time I have a little whoopsie, I keep catching up. But it is just a matter of passing him because of all of the turns here are pretty high speed, and the low speed stuff is somewhat difficult to get side by side through. So it is kind of just about not making a mistake, which I'm doing a terrible job. Terrible job at. Here we go. Send a move into 3. Beautiful switchback by Eddie, I gotta say. A little bit of contact. That's okay. He does get the better exit. Run him all the way out. Leave space on the outside. He kills his speed right there. And I'm just about there. He goes defensive. I send it. And P2. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a second place on our hands. Oh boy. Now, can I keep the P2? What do you think? Wake up. Wake up. This is a dream. Wake up. Those clouds do not look nice. Golly. Gee willikers, dude. Unfortunately, no photographers at the track today. They had to go to some sort of owner league race. It was the Greater Houston. It was either TKL, Texas Karting League, or the Greater Houston Karting League. Either way, they weren't here, so I don't have any aura farming pictures or pictures of me picking my nose because they caught me picking my nose. I wasn't even picking my nose. It just looks like I was. But I was itching my nose. I swear to God, I was itching my nose. If that photo ever comes out, I promise you I was itching my nose. I was on the phone with either my mom or my friend, and I was itching my nose with my pinky, and it looks like I was picking my nose. I wasn't. I was itching it. Wasn't picking it. There was believe it or not, there was a threat of rain, and because we're on slicks, if they deemed it too wet, and if people started going off, that's how they said they would kind of deem if it was too wet or not. Then they would shut us down. He is a lot closer than I thought he was at this point. I saw his cart a second ago, kind of poke a nose, so to speak. I either do really, really good on this layout or really, really bad. Because I think on this layout I've gotten... I got second last time too. I think. Yeah. First time I ran this was the second race I did here. I got second place. The second time I ran this, which was last season, or the first season of 2026, I believe I got like 5th or 6th or something. It was infuriating. And then this time I got... That's supposed to be a drum roll. You'll see in about 2.5 minutes. I thought I cinched this camera down better. My goodness, this thing is jumpy. One thing I wasn't particularly thrilled with was there were a couple of laps where I was being pushed through the high-speed one. I almost went off. I don't know if it kind of goes through on the camera, but it did feel like I almost went off. And then through turn 1, I got kind of bumped through a couple of times. I was able to keep it in. But still a wee bit more uncomfortable than I'd like. But is it better to be born good or to become good through great effort? Thank you, Dragon, from probably a Dark Souls game. On to the second to final lap. We have 28, which is this lap, 29, penultimate lap, and 30, final lap. I'm not sure which layout will be run twice this season. You'll see eventually. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. Solid hand on our P2 right now. I think he's about half a second back as far as I can tell. I am going defensive just in case. Because you never know. We are catching the master class, which probably should have mentioned in the previous 19 minutes and 55 seconds of this recording, but they are running with us, the master class, which is the group from 225 and up. I race any 185 to 225. Yeah. They get the blue flag. I didn't end up catching them by the end of the race. So that's kind of a moot point. Like a cow's opinion. They do end up taking different racing lines, which I thought was interesting. And oh my god, my computer crashed again. This is the greatest computer ever. As we go on to the final lap, just about getting onto the back of the master class, because there isn't so much turning as compared to normal, the speed difference isn't all that, if you know what I mean. I don't think you do. Anyway, that's it. Shaky cam, good lord. That's it. That's P2, secured and in the bag. Maybe after this turn. That's P2, secured and in the bag. Boom, here's a graphic. Yeah. Passing these master fellas. I'm gonna wave to this guy on the right. He won master race. Give him a little shake and bake action. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you made it this far, comment cone.